Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs today. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, rock stars, how y'all doing today? First story up is a story that we talked about last week, but since many of you guys obviously didn't listen to me, we'll talk about it again today. How's that, you guys? Remember I told you guys last week that Kenya was not going to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta any longer, and that she was pissed about it because she didn't want to leave the show, and that she was contemplating suing? Okay, remember I told you guys that last week, remember? Well, many of you guys acted like you didn't know that when the news dropped this week, that is indeed exactly what is happening, okay? They didn't say that Kenya was fired, however. They did say that Kenya and the Real Housewives of Atlanta executives, the producers and such, have decided that they would mutually kind of go on their own way. Okay, and that they was not going to pursue Kenya being on the show any longer this season. They were going to pretty much scrap this season and start all over. I mean, I feel like it's like deja vu almost. I mean, I said all of those things. I mean, I guess some of it was just my opinion, but that is exactly what has happened this week, you guys. I do believe that Kenya is going to try to sue. It's interesting that Kenya is still upholding the fact that she didn't do anything, even though we did hear the audio. We, of course, granted, did not see the video, but the audio is clearly Kenya's voice. And I believe that there were enough people that came out after it and was just sort of like, I couldn't believe this happened. Of course, the cast did not say that, because the cast knew that they needed to keep their mouths shut, okay? But other people that were there that attended, including a cameraman, I believe, all was just like flabbergasted that Kenya did what she did. But, you know, she's been saying that, you know, believe, you know, half of what you hear and nothing of what you see, or whatever she said, however the saying goes. And she's been saying that she hasn't done anything, and that she's got proof. Okay, as a matter of fact, she had a picture. Originally, she had a picture of her and her daughter out on the beach somewhere, and she said, thank you all for the support, Team Twirl. Okay, my heart is full and my conscience is clear. She went on to say that many false claims were hiding behind anonymous sources. Okay, I don't know if this was before the audio came out, you know, and she was trying to make it so that it didn't really happen. Maybe she had it on good authority that Bravo was never going to release the footage. And so maybe that's why she was saying that, you know, it didn't happen. And as long as nobody could provide that kind of proof, that's why she was going with that. But like I said, the audio did leak of her talking about the girl, calling her a high pay hoe, calling her an escort, saying that she Snapchat her pussy to Yo Gotti, and all of that. Clearly it was Kenya's voice, okay? And there were a couple of pictures that posted where it showed these poster boards of, well, you couldn't really see what was on the poster boards, but they're saying that that had something to do with the picture supposedly that she had posted at her salon grand reopening. Okay, so yeah, that's what she was saying. But now that that has dropped, she's been pretty quiet. Okay, and the only reason why I can figure out that she's been quiet is because I really believe that she's been advised by her legal team not to say anything, and that she is going to sue. You know, I know a lot of people out there are still like hung up on the whole revenge porn part of it, and why did she get fired if she released images that were already in the public. And my answer to you is this: no, it wasn't revenge porn. From what all of the Rockstar lawyers, the real ones out there, have told me, that this was not considered legal. It wasn't considered revenge porn. We've just been saying that as bloggers because that's just kind of been the buzzword that has stuck. But I think legally she won't meet any real ramifications of putting those pictures out. However, again, remember I told you that we try a little exercise where we put ourselves in other people's shoes. Well, let's try it again here, you guys. Just imagine if you were at work and one of your coworkers came to your job and brought a gaggle of pictures of you in a compromised position, nude, having sex, giving blowjobs, face and place, whatever it is that you do out there, okay, that you've done, even if you did post it on OnlyFans, okay, even if you did post it somewhere. But if your coworker came to your job with those pictures and let all of your coworkers see it, okay, how would you feel about that? You probably would have a problem with it, right? And you would go to your bosses and be like, this bitch came and brought these pictures here for no reason, has nothing to do with the job. Why is she bringing those pictures here? Only to make me look bad. Yes, I put those pictures out, but that was on the public platform somewhere unrelated to this job. Shouldn't have anything to do with this job, okay? And if your job... first of all, then you probably would have to talk to your boss about, the appropriateness of having this kind of shit out there when you do have a job. Some offices, some jobs do have like an ethical clause and, different moral things that they wouldn't want you to be a part of. But let's just say that the job didn't have an issue with you having these kind of images out there. Okay. Still, the fact that your coworker brought those to your job, now you have an issue with your job if your job does not indeed do something about it. Okay. Because why is this person bringing these images to your job? Right. And if your job keeps that person on, and you pissed about it, every day you come to work, you want to beat a bitch ass because she came and brought this shit there for everybody to see. Now you have created a hostile work environment, okay? Because now every time you want to see her, you is ready to get them up, right? So the job now has to make a decision whether or not they're going to keep this person on who brought these pictures into the office, brought these images into the office or not. Okay, and so the job makes the decision to let the Kenya go. All right, but that person, being Kenya, probably might turn around and sue because that these images were public, and maybe there are other things that have gone on in the job that they feel that they need to sue about and everything. So that is kind of how the situation looks like it is hammering out to me. Okay, Kenya probably will sue. It might not even have much to do with this particular incident, although this might be part of it, but she's probably going to start talking about other things that already have been brought to the table about Bravo, the whole thing with sexual harassment, the whole racial discrimination. That's going to be big. Kenya is a dark-skinned black woman that is on a show. Colorism is the topic of the Real Housewife franchises when it comes to the black shows. She knows that, and I'm sure she is going to use whatever she needs to do to try to get some sort of settlement out of this. Okay. Like I told you guys last week, this is a big paycheck that I'm sure Kenya did not want to lose. All right. Yet and still, in my opinion, Kenya did it to herself. Like, there are certain things that you just need to know better and that you just don't need to do. I understand you trying to make the show more entertaining for the people. People have been making demands on Real Housewives of Atlanta that things needed to change, and now that Kenya and Portia were kind of like the two headlining stars of the show, I felt like she probably felt she needed to bring it. Okay, brought it a little too much. Little too much, sis, little too much. And now she's found herself on the outs. Of course, she's going to play on the sympathies of, the people. She's going to always be addressing Team Twirl. She's always going to bring up her daughter because she knows that is a soft spot in most of our hearts when it comes to Kenya and her daughter. That's the only, for some of us, that is the only piece of humanity that Kenya really has, is the fact that she has a beautiful daughter that maybe will soften out all her old sharp ass, hard ass, mean ass edges. She definitely has mean girl, she has mean girl in her. But we all kind of hoped that she was past that after she had gotten married and had her daughter and all. And, we all felt sorry for her when we saw how Mark was treating her. And then she had her daughter, and it just seemed like the girl has softened up. But this season, this Sweet 16 season, shout out to Nene who brought, and it hasn't been hilarious that all of the Nene memes that have been in the comments when it's talking about the things about Kenya, with her leaving the show, all of them are appropriate. I mean, every single Nene meme out there known, okay, you can attach it to this Kenya situation and it fits properly. It fits perfectly, you guys. It is so hilarious to me. It's not hilarious to me that the girl has lost her good job, her good paying job, because nobody needs to do that. But you have to think about these things before you do them. It was just for the life of me. And I know people are saying, well, Brittany said, that she had a gun for Kenya, or, they shoot people like Kenya where she's from or whatever, you guys. But I'm just going to tell you this. It's just words. Wasn't no gun at the scene. Wasn't no gun on the set. She ain't never threatened a girl, had a gun up to her head or anything like that. So that is not going to hold up. That is an empty threat to me. And it's the saying that people say. So I don't know if that is even something that's going to hold up in court if she does try to say, well, that's the reason why she did all of that, And to me, the offenses don't equal each other. Somebody threatening and saying something like that, as opposed to them bringing the fucking pictures of you with you deep throat and some damn body and some shit. Like, no. Okay. So, yes, I guess I'm talking mostly to Team Twirl, but really to everybody out there. I mean, I hate that it happened to Kenya. Okay, because, we ain't liked Kenya, then we was coming around to Kenya, we was trying to feel Kenya. Last season, Kenya just kind of was, I didn't know what to feel about her, because she just seemed like she was fed up and all that. And I thought the writing was on the wall that Kenya was leaving. But then when Candy left, I think that they were like, okay, we can't have Candy and Kenya be gone. So then they decided to bring Kenya back, because even when Kenya was talking to Carlos, she was talking like she knew she wasn't coming back. But Candy left. Kenya, that brought Kenya back in. Then they was able to, get Portia back on the show. And then there you go. So now I believe they are scrapping all of the scenes that they've done with Kenya, which means that they probably are going to have to just pretty much start all over. And so now it's all this talk about what other people are coming back. Sheree is definitely on that list. Everybody is like, she would be coming. It depends on what the money is going to be, because I'm sure it's always the bottom line for Sheree. And then, they're saying that Cynthia, I was just like, Cynthia is she's also like a Drew to me. It was just like, you could take Cynthia or you can leave her. Now, I do like Cynthia for the fact that Cynthia gets along with everybody and everything, but yeah, I just like Cynthia. I don't know if that's going to be the draw where everybody is just like, oh shit, Cynthia's back. Let me watch, It's cool to see Cynthia, but that's pretty much it. And then I've even been hearing talk about Phaedra, which I absolutely don't believe. Okay. But there are still people out there that's hoping for Phaedra to come back to the show and everything. I just do not see it happening. I don't see it happening, but honey, stranger things have happened. So yeah, that's it, y'all. We just had to touch on that again. God, I can't believe I've been talking about that for 14 minutes. I'll get that whittled down. But yeah, don't feel sorry for Kenya. Sometimes you just really have to learn the hard way. You just can't be out there all willy-nilly doing shit like this. So, but hopefully Kenya, and all her new business endeavors with her salon and her hair care and, all that, maybe she can now put 100% focus on that and try to grow that business. I mean, from what I understand, her products do well. Maybe she can get that salon to do well and open more stores. I don't know. Okay, but that's what it is. Kenya is out. Now, while we're talking about the Real Housewives franchise, let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, you guys, and them saying that Wendy and Giselle have found a newfound friendship on the show, okay, for this season that is upcoming. And I was just like, Child, let me roll my fucking eyes. Let me roll my eyes at this one, okay? But I'm going to ask you guys how you feeling about this. Now, it was obviously clear that Giselle needed to do something with this new season that was coming up. One, her ace boon coon, Robin, was put off the show. She will not be back. Okay, so I feel like it puts Giselle in a very awkward position on the show because Giselle, you know, who is she gonna really be with? Okay, first of all, Karen is neutral, and Karen is never going to support Giselle 100% in the bullshit that Giselle be spewing. Okay, so it's like, you know, her and Ashley, I mean, it's just sort of like we are tired of that, and Giselle knows, she had to have seen how everybody reacted to her last season. I mean, when you start getting articles written about you from Essence magazine, the black girl magazine that's talking about you, colorism, all the negatives, the mean girl antics, you know, the extreme hazing that she does to the ladies, the new ones especially that come on the show. When you start seeing articles like that, you have got to know that it needs to be some changes made. Okay, so I believe that Giselle sat her ass down with herself and looked in the mirror and was just like, how can I try to win the audience, at least some of these people back over to my side? Okay, because one, I need to stay on this fucking show because I just told you guys ain't nobody trying to lose the check. Okay, so I need to stay on this show, and I would really like, you know, for everybody not to hate me. Okay, so, you know, she had to look at who was left on the show and who did she need to attach herself to. Now, of course, it could have been Mia. You know, Mia wasn't going to be the one that really helped Giselle because Mia's a light-skinned black woman as well. And she just needed to do something that was going to really make the other side, the dark side, if you will, look at her differently. So to me, it was a no-brainer. Let me try to see if I can figure out this friendship with Wendy. Hell, her and Wendy have never been friends. Okay, at best, they tolerated each other. Giselle always came at Wendy, hazed her, and then it just went left from there. And now they both need each other, but I think Giselle needs Wendy more than Wendy needs Giselle. Okay, and I mean that in the sense that Giselle is, like I said, in that precarious position where really nobody likes her, and she's got to make it seem like, you know, she's did some self-reflecting and realized that she was the way that she was and all that. Now, do I think that Giselle with her big ego is going to say something like that on the show? No. Okay, I think that Giselle is just going to just be like, you know, hey, she's fun, you know, she's got over the things that Wendy pissed her off about, you know, in the past, and, you know, it's a new day, and now she's dealing with Wendy, okay? Because if you guys saw that Wendy had a birthday party, and they've already released the damn videos of her, you know, when she runs out, and she's so excited, and she runs up to the ladies, and she gives everybody a hug, and she gave Giselle a hug, and I was just like, what? Okay, and Giselle was right there cheering her on and hugging her and everything. And I was like, well, who would have ever fucking thought it? Okay. But yeah, I think that it is a very strategic way that Giselle is trying to be. What's going to be the question is whether or not people are going to believe it. Are people going to think that she is fucking playing in our face? Or are they really going to believe that Giselle, you know, recognized the faults of her ways and wanted to change it? Okay, I believe most people are not gonna buy that shit, but who am I, you guys, who am I but a lowly YouTube reviewer of this show since it came into fruition? Okay, so yeah, you guys let me know what you think about it. Do you feel like this is a new and improved Giselle, or is it just because Robin is gone and Giselle knows that she is on shaky fucking ground? Okay, do you believe that Giselle is true to this friendship with Wendy, this newfound friendship, I should say, with Wendy? Y'all let me know. And then I guess while we're talking about the original Real Housewives of Atlanta, we can talk about Patricia, okay? Mama named him Peter Thomas. You guys, now I'm not laughing at this because this is really no laughing matter, but it's kind of one of those times where you just be like, well, I'm not really surprised, okay? Yeah, Peter Thomas did come out with a video, I think on Tuesday, the day that I did my last Top of the Blogs. Some shit always comes out after I do my video. But we had a very contrite Peter Thomas who made a video explaining that he knew he had been wrong, that he had avoided paying IRS the taxes for many years, and now it has they coming home, the chicken is coming home to roost, and the IRS is like, fuck you, pay me, okay? And now he has got to correct his wrongs. Him and his lawyers, him and his legal team are trying to see how they can get this shit worked out, because apparently he just has not been paying his taxes. He's been going from business, should I say failed business, to failed business. And he's just been lumping more and more problems and taxes and shit on top of it. Now, anybody can tell you, and y'all know how I am with these fucking taxes. Every year the IRS stresses me the fuck out, okay? I ain't never been so damn stressed as when I see that fucking little symbol on the paperwork. When it come in the mailbox, I just get a sick feeling like, y'all, these motherfuckers been in my pockets since 2015, and it's just been, so I know for a fact that the IRS is not something that you can play with. I do understand that it is very hard for people that have small businesses to really know how to get the whole thing started. And so, a lot of them make mistakes and don't pay the appropriate tax, or don't even know where to start and all that, and have to really start looking into getting an accountant and getting people that's going to help them on the financial administrative end of their business. So, I mean, I understand that small businesses, they don't really know where to turn originally. But he started Uptown, that fell through, and just like I said, so many clubs and bars, and some, I'm telling you, they were nice and they were fun. Like Bar One was fun. Uptown was a beautiful place and it was fun, and I'm assuming that his other locations probably started out that same way as well. But on top of Peter not paying his damn taxes, we know that Peter wasn't paying his rent for these places or mortgage, whatever the arrangement that he had worked out for these different locations. He wasn't paying his employees. He wasn't paying his fucking vendors. It was just like left and right. You was hearing stories about Peter just really just doing a whole big, a whole one of these, okay? A whole fuck you to everybody. It was just like he just would go from place to place, city to city, state to state, just jumping around. I mean, he North Carolina, Atlanta, up in DC, down in Florida, down in Miami and everything. And he just would just start the whole thing over. And like I said, lumping the problems on top of each other. And eventually that kind of thing just catches up with you, And this guy is next to me. His music is blasting. He left his car running. I hope you guys can't hear it. He must have turned the car off. Okay. Anyway, he's looking at me like, what are you doing? Nice BMW. Anyway, yeah, so it's just sort of like, you hate to, we ain't a kick a bitch when they down, I'm not that kind of person, but it's just sort of like at some point you had to know that shit was going to catch up with you. We've been hearing lawsuits and stuff about him, and he just would just get on camera and he would say stuff like, oh, we didn't do this, and, my lawyers are going to fight this and all that, and now he's making videos, out there, and it's just sort of like, Peter, what do you want us to do with this video? Okay, because we already knew. Okay, of course we know that he is doing that to talk to the IRS. I'm sure this man don't want to go to jail, and from what I understand, there's a real chance that he may go. Okay, because it seems like he wasn't just one of those people who just didn't know better. It was just a absolute, I'm not going to do it. Okay, I'm just gonna keep on getting away with it. And the IRS, honey, one thing Uncle Sam don't like is you is not fixing to make a fool out of me. Okay, you're not, and you can't, because they'll give you enough rope to hang yourself, and then, honey, when they get enough of it, they just gonna pull that bitch back. They just gonna cinch it in, okay? You gonna be and then next thing you know, you got these kind of problems. So I feel sorry for him because, I sure hate to see the man go to jail, but it's just sort of like, I mean, if everybody you cannot, what do they say? You can get away with everything but two things. You can't avoid paying the IRS, and you can't avoid dying. That's it. That's it. I hope it works out for Peter. I mean, I don't want bruh man to go to jail. Hopefully, somebody down there got a little softened from his video. Did it make you guys feel soft for him? Hold your head up, Peter. And then another Real Housewives of Atlanta original, Nene, you guys. I'll be happy to report. You guys will be happy to hear that Nene has a new show on Lifetime called Outrageous Love. They're calling it a reality show, but not the reality show that you would think. Apparently this show, the way that it works is that Nene gives her commentary on real life clips on social media of people that are in love, people that have a relationship. It's just sort of like Nene giving her own little spin, maybe advice, or how she sees it on a relationship, or somebody that is expressing their love on social media. It's strange, it's kind of weird, but I'm thinking that I mean, they gave her a whole show, so they must believe that it is going to work. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy for Nene, because Nene hasn't been able to really do nothing since she left Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, she's done a few little things that she tried to do. She even tried to start her YouTube channel, which was doing well, but she didn't keep that up. And then she was trying to do some other things on YouTube, and that didn't work. And then I believe she did do the College Hill, the celebrity edition, and she did well on that show, but she hasn't really been able to get what I think she would have wanted, that was her own baby. But now she has it. This show, she's an executive producer on the show. She's the headline of the show. It is her show. So I hope it does well for Nene, because baby, we all needs that check. Okay. It comes on Lifetime, and it will be debuting on July 1st at 10 p.m. Okay. Will you be watching? And then let's move on now to other reality shows. Basketball Wives, you guys. Some of you might be happy to hear that Royce Reed, okay, the original Basketball Wife, who was on the show from season 1, I believe, to season 4, when it first came out in 2010. You guys remember when she was with the original cast with Susie and Royce and Evelyn and Tammy and Shawnee and not Gloria. Yeah, Gloria. Which one? The thinner, the sister. Not the one that was with the child. The one that was with Matt Barnes. What was her name? Was it Gloria, or was that a child? I can't remember. I think it was Gloria. But she was on the show with them, and remember how bad they did her, and she left, and she was like, I'm never coming back. As a matter of fact, she even told Carlos King in this recent interview that she had, that the only way she would come back is if he was involved, which we know that he's not involved with Basketball Wives, so that meant that she was not coming back. But child, listen, what a difference a day make, okay? Never say never, because now they are saying that Royce will be in this next season of Basketball Wives, okay? Still not gonna watch that shit, but somebody out there will. And I was just like, girl, is that sure? You sure that's what you want to do? I mean, everybody grown now, but they was grown back then, and some of them acted like a fucking baby, okay? Evelyn being that main one. And I know that Evelyn is still on the show. I think Evelyn came back, last season? I know Jennifer is on the show, so I know that Jennifer and Royce at least used to be friends. I'm assuming that they are still. And because, yeah, she did say that her and Jennifer, I think, were still friends. Basketball Wives, they have a couple of different franchises, right? Because wasn't there like the original, like the OG Girls was on one, and then they had like a new cast on Miami, or am I getting that shit mixed up? Or coming from Florida somewhere? I thought that that's what it was, but so I'm not sure if it's which show she's going to be on, but I'm assuming that she would have been on the show, if there even indeed is two different shows. But I'm assuming that she was going to be on the one that has your Evelyn, that has your Jennifer, and all of that. Okay, we don't know how many episodes she's going to be on. Not sure if she's going to be like a full like cast member or if she's just going to be a friend of the show. Wouldn't know what her storyline is or anything. They're just now saying that she will be on this next season, and I was just like, I mean, I am still always surprised that Basketball Wives is still on. That show, it has like an ongoing fucking reviver of the heart. That shit is always, what's that shit they put on your chest and they put it and it goes forward and they go poof. All right, what is that thing? Because that's what happens Basketball Wives. Every time we think that shit is down and out, it comes right on back. Okay, so maybe Royce might be a good addition. You know, everybody was happy to see Royce in the Carlos King interview. And you know, she made it pretty known that she could stand to take a fucking dollar too. So as long as the girl ain't got to sell out her soul and act, you know, a fool on the show, which I don't think that she would do. I mean, good for her. Good for her. Somebody out there is watching the damn show. Okay, might as well make a little money off of it. So we'll see. You guys, that's another one. Are you guys going to be watching? And then, you guys, this whole thing with young Jock, you know, Jaceel and his wife, like, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I am so not tuned into what's going on over there, but I know that there's been all this talk about his wife saying that she wanted a divorce. You guys know I listen to Young Jock in the mornings, although this morning had pissed me off because they were talking about, you know, a couple of them are supporters of YSAP, and they were talking about the debate. And I just was so disgusted I had to change the channels. I was like, don't piss me off, shit. Y'all just was giving you all this big ups about the show, and then y'all come up with this mess. But anyway, it's all this talk about Young Jock getting caught in this, you know, on video, somebody recording him on video, talking to some girl that's all the way up on him. He's leaned up against the car. He's not touching the girl, but the girl is kind of standing in between his legs and she's up in his face. And you can kind of tell that the girl is kind of hostile or something. And he's just kind of sitting there and he's looking at her. And it was being said that he was cheating on his wife by, you know, even dealing with this woman, entertaining this woman. And I guess people were saying, you know, as they looked at the video, it kind of had some sexual tension. The fact that she was up on him so close, even if he wasn't touching her, the fact that she was up on him so close, and he looked like he could really just have just been stood up and kissed her, and she probably would have calmed the fuck down. Okay, that's what the looked like. I'm not saying that that's what really could have happened, but I think that's where a lot of people was going. And Young Jock was just trying to say for himself that, you know, people come up with all kind of things and say that he's doing something when he really isn't. His wife was so pissed about that scene or that video that the wife had texted him and her mother, and was just like, we getting a divorce. I'm tired of all this. And he was just trying to make himself look better. So somebody asked me about it. What did I think? And what I think is, just looking at the video, would I say that Young Jock was cheating? No. Okay. But when you lump all of the shit that Young Jock has done in the past, okay, I mean, Haley, from what I understand, he has a new baby with somebody, you know, who's not his wife. And from what I remember back a long time ago, either the wife couldn't have a baby or didn't want to have a baby or something. But anyway, the wife doesn't have a child with him. Yet and still he has like a 2 or 3 year old kid with somebody. Okay. So yeah, when you start putting together all of the shit that Jaceel did, not necessarily just that video, but you know, more and more things that he's done in the past, and you know, it kind of gives you a hard time of giving the man a benefit of the doubt. Okay. You just start to be like, yeah, this nigga, he's doing something else like he usually do. Okay. That's probably what his wife think. But also the wife had to know, I mean, Young Jock ain't been no saint on that show at any point. Okay. Even if some of it was bullshit, some of it isn't. Okay. He allowed himself to be looked at in that light. And it was just sort of like, girl, didn't you know what you was marrying? I mean, didn't you know that that's what the man was doing? Okay. But yeah, I mean, I understand that you can only take so much and you be tired of it and you over it and everything. And yeah, it's for the entertainment and TV and everything, but also this is your real life. But it's just sort of like, I mean, that's how he been, sis. You know, what we supposed to do? You know, I mean, I hope they can work it out, you know. But when I look at that video, I don't know if I just felt like, yeah, him just flat out, he was cheating and shit. But like I said, it is the preponderance of evidence. Y'all, let me get off of here. I got this. Yeah, let me finish. That's it. Y'all let me know what you think. All right, you guys, I got to order my food before I start the next top of the blog. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I can't do it because I'm recording on my phone. Now, otherwise, I'll let you guys hear. But yes, I am at Lucky Key today, you guys. We do this every single week. So make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye. Got this.